Hey YouTube, Gear Twig here, bringing you guys an update to my Fluffle deck profile for August 2015. This is a deck that I've worked a lot on just because I like the whole concept of Fluffles. You know, fusion summons are awesome, plus mixing cute with scary, to make still scary is an awesome idea. So I thought I'd bring you guys the update with Clash of Rebellion. So let's go ahead and get started. I run 3 Fluffle Dog. He is the searcher of the deck. When this card is normal or special summon from the hand, you can add 1 Edge Sabers or Fluffle monster from your deck to your hand, except for Dog. You can only use the effect once per turn. But the main move with this is, to add Sheep and then bounce Dog back to your hand to special Sheep and then, special something, some other stuff off of Sheep, just so you can reuse your Dog later and still, have the stuff on the field for if you want to use Fright for Fusion or something like that. So he's good, just for that search, getting stuff you don't want to draw. And I also run 3 of the new Fluffle Mouse. Fluffle Mouse is good because now with the new Fright for Tiger and Mouse's ability to call copies of himself to the field, you can hit your opponent for a pop 4 ability with Tiger, which can really kill their plays if you can get Tiger off. And Mouse, you just start off with 1 and then special 2 more. And the only thing you can do is you can't special summon anything except for Fright for monsters from your extra deck for the rest of the turn, which isn't, that big of a hit because that's what you're going to go for anyway. And I'm also running 2 Fluffal. This card helps with the fusion summons, being the fact that they can add polymerization when it's normal or special from the hand, or you can pay 500 life points and fusion summon a Frightfur from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or your side of the field as the fusion material. Overall, he's your main go-to, animal for the fusion summons. And I also run 2 Fluffle Sheep now. I like 2 now just because you can search it out. 3, you're pretty much just, repeating your plays with running it at 3. So keeping him at 2, I can search him out, which is a big reason also why I run him at 2. He's searchable by Dog, so there's really no other reason to, run him at 3. Plus he gets off your edge imp plays, so you can go for the fusion that you want. And then for the one-ofs, I run 1 Fluffle Cat, 1 Fluffle Rabbit, and 1 Fluffle Bear. Basically because the thing I realized that I was missing with the deck was consistency with cards in my hand after the fusion summon. And Rabbit and Cat help because I can add back polymerization or the material back to my hand depending on what I need. And Bear helps because I am running Toy Vendor now, which is very viable with the deck using Summoner Monk just to keep searches and consistency with the hand. So with Bear I can search out Toy Vendor, get polymerization that I need, just helps with that situation. I run 1 of each just because each one, like I said, is searchable with Dog. Dog is the only Fluffle I run at 3 except for Mouse because you need 3 Mouse for the play because Dog sets up your plays. That's basically it. You can search for what you need for that play. And then we'll move on to the others, which are the Edge Imps. I run 2 Edge Imp Sabers. Edge Imp Sabers is needed for most of the fusions in the deck, including Tiger, Wolf, Bear, the big ones pretty much. Tiger's your main one to go to, so you want to make sure you get him in the grave or on the field as fast as you can, which is very viable to do, very easy to send them to the graveyard. Either, with, from your hand using Toy Vendor or something like that. That's your main play you want to make sure you do is just, get Sabers because it's very easy to special summon him back from the graveyard with his own ability. And I also run 2 Edge Imp Chain now. I dropped it down from 3 to 2 basically because I did like the whole search option with Chain, but at the same time, I was going off of what I can do more for the card at that moment. If I attack with Chain, I'll search off another Chain, but then that's my play right there. There's really no reason for me to have another Chain. I'd rather at that time after I get the other one to my hand, use the Scent effect, which you can only use 1 effect per turn, so you really gotta think, am I gonna regret not searching, or am I gonna want the Fright for card added to my hand, which will be Fright for Fusion. And I thought after a lot of play testing, I'd rather get Fright for Fusion to hand, so I'm dropping him down to 2 so I don't accidentally draw 1 and then regret not searching it off of his own effect. And then I'm also running one Edgem Saw. This card's used mostly in the deck so I can make Fright for Leo. He has a great setup effect, especially with Toy Vendor, but running him at 1, the fact that he has to be normal summon is a big part of why I run him at 1. So you can send one Fluffle monster from your hand to the graveyard to draw 2 cards, then place 1 card from your hand either on top or bottom. You're going to use the effect once per turn. So basically, like I said, you can set up for the Toy Vendor play. He's needed for Fright for Leo, which is an awesome fusion card all on its own, which is another reason why I like to run him. Plus, I also run one Edgem Tomahawk. I'm running one because it's searchable by Summoner Monk. And when I was running more than one, he was kind of cloggy because I would get him or draw the other ones, then he'd be kind of dead draw later if I drew the other ones already and had nothing to send for his effects, which the 800 effect is irrelevant to compared to the other one where he gets the name of the Edgem you send, which is great because he can set up almost any of your fusion plays. And then I also run 2 Summoner Monks. This card's great just because it works with Toy Vendor in the send effect to add an Edgem Sabers or Fluffle monster from your deck to your hand. So, like I said, it sets up your plays. You can get Tomahawk if you want to use that ability. Summoner Monk just sets up, everything you can pretty much try and do with the deck. That's it for monsters. We'll move on to spells. I run 3 Toy Vendor. This card, I didn't like it at first, but it kind of grew on me just because the setup is something the deck needs. The special summon from the hand effect also plays into this, that you have to special summon from the hand. So you'll still get their effects even if special to Toy Vendor. Plus the hit effect with Summoner Monk really helps as well. And I'm also running 2 Suture Rebirth. Only 2 because basically the effects are negated, so you're not really gaining anything off of the special summon besides the fact that, if you need that fusion material, but you're giving a card for another card, so it's not plussing you at all. Otherwise, I would run it at 3. If the effects were still active and, Fluffles didn't have to be special summoned from the hand, I'd definitely run it at 3. And if it didn't negate the effects and you summon your Fright for monster back, that'd be even more broke. And I'm also running 2 Fright for Fusion, just running this at 2 basically because you have to banish the cards, so you're really going through your resources, and it's searchable, so you'll be able to get it with Chain if need be. And I'm also running 2 Polymerizations, 2 for the reason I run Owl, searchable with Owl. Only reason I need it at 2 is because I found 3 dead draws all the time. Plus, I also run 1 for 1. This is for Fluffle Mouse, just so I can get him quickly and not accidentally draw a mouse. So if I open up this is like my first play to go to, get mouse out so I don't end up drawing it. And 1 Regeki. No MST just because this deck, can be safe from battle phase traps because a lot of the Fright for monsters, including Sheep, cannot, your opponent can activate cards when it's attacking, so you're safe from them. And Tiger can pop, unnecessary back row if need be. And then for traps, I run 2 Fusion Reserve. This card's great just for getting back resources, including a used Polymerization, so good for that. 2 Mirror Force, and 1 Torrential, 1 Compulse, 1 Bottomless, and 1 Solemn Warning are my protection traps, just so I can get my plays off and then protect my monsters. And we'll move on to extra deck. I run 1 Fright for Tiger. I'd want to run 2. I only have 1 at the moment, but I'm getting 1 in a trade hopefully soon, so definitely be running 2 of those. 2 Fright for a Wolf. This guy can really help with OTKs. Just depends, how many you go for the summon. Another, mouse target, you can go with this if you know the board is clean and you want to go for game. 1 Fright for Bear, just because you have the bear target, so why not? 2 Fright for Sheep. If I get my second Tiger soon, I'll be taking out 1 Sheep for that. Otherwise, great card, very easy to make with Chain, and your opponent really has to do a lot to get over it. 1 Leo, he's pretty much the Ring of Destruction of the deck. Destroy a monster, then you just can't attack directly that turn. Chimera, he's more of, the one I'd say I'd go into the least, just because he's the most difficult to get out. And 1 Diamond Dyer, 1 Castell, 1 Cowboy, 1 Alucard, 1 Exciton, 1 Arc, and you saw it, the 1 Leviair to get back banished material. So yeah, that's it for the deck. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.